friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to start another author taste test, and this author that I'm going to be tasting some of their books is Suzanne Park. Suzanne Park is the author of a few YA rom-coms, and I recently participated in a campaign with the publisher Sourcefire Books for her new release, but I wanted to go back and start with her debut. Debut novel, The Perfect Escape, is what I'm actually going to begin with. This is one guy, one girl, one weekend-long survivalist competition. What could go wrong? Then I will pick up Sunny Song Will Never Be Famous, which is the book that I did the Instagram campaign for. But I'm really excited about both of these because they feature diverse characters, and the author herself is Korean American. She used to be a comedian, so I'm hoping that there's some really good humor mixed in. Let's go ahead and get started with our first book. Bananas ice cream caramel syrup. For those of you that love Charlie, her bark box came and she is so excited, as you can see. My exciting mail is I got these Post-its. They're like these little pads, but they do have the sticky portion at the top, so you can stick them inside a book and like make notes or whatever like that. So I really wanted to get those. So it came in like this rainbow of colors, and then I also got a bunch of these transparent Post-it notes. So that's what this is. It's hard to really see, but I have one in here. I have it right here, as you can see. It's right here, but you can't really like majorly see it. But I thought it would be great for annotating if I wanted to underline something, but not, you know, have it to be on the actual page. So that's with a pen and even with a Sharpie. Let's say I wanted to like circle that or something like that. And then it's in the Post-it, not in the actual book. Here with a reading update, it is the next day. I didn't end up reading as much as I wanted to yesterday. I only made it to page 90, so I'm on page 91. I really do like it so far. It's a YA rom-com about two characters that end up working in this zombie escape room. And on the very first night of, what's her name again? Nate and Kate. So Nate has worked there for a very long time, but Kate is a seasonal worker. And on her first night there, Nate ends up giving her a ride home, and he really like has an attraction to her. He thinks she's funny, but it looks like they are complete opposites. Nate's family is very like hard on him, and very like he is involved in a lot of activities, a lot of different sports. He makes straight A's. He goes to this really prestigious school, but the only reason he's able to go there is because of his scholarship, because of his grades and so forth. Where you have Kate, who is a little bit more loosey-goosey, a little bit more like free-flowing, a little bit more of a wild child, if you will. Kind of reminds me a little bit of myself, but she comes from a very prominent family. Like her dad is pretty famous. He's the CEO at this really big like tech company, and it doesn't look like Kate really wants Nate to know, but she's being raised by a single father because her mother has passed away. Her dad is not around a lot. He's always working, so whenever Nate drops her off, she has him drop her off like at the beginning of her driveway, so he doesn't see the gate or the mansion that she lives in or anything like that. I just got to the part where they decided to do the survivalist competition together, and I think that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump back in. Last night I did a book unhaul, and I am in the process of unhauling all of these books. And then over here I have some of my taller hardbacks, book of the month copies that I'm getting rid of, ones that I didn't really love that I read during Romanceathon, a couple of mass markets, and just like some kind of otherish type books. And then this is that other stack that I was showing you. So lots of books that I'm going to be getting rid of. All right, so this is what my TBR shelf looks like. I put my unread book of the months here, so they're all on my TBR shelf. And I moved like the Stephen King and my witchy books up here. So unread book of the month, thrillers, and I left this open for thrillers. Here's my meager pile of romance, and this is kind of others. And down here are my memoirs, classics, and YA. I got rid of a lot of my YA, so these are the only ones that I have now. But as you can see, I got a lot of books this month. I have these two stacks, this one, and these books over here. So I knew I was going to be hauling a bunch of books this month. I am happy to report that I only bought the little stack. All of the rest were completely free, which I will talk about in my summer book haul. But I need to jump back into this and finish this up. I'm hoping to have both of these finished before the weekend ends, because Survive the Night by Riley Sager is coming, and I have pre-ordered it obviously, and I want to read it as soon as it arrives in my mailbox. Great news, guys! I finished The Perfect Escape by Suzanne Park. Next up, we will be moving on to Sunny's Song Will Never Be Famous, which is her new release. As far as thoughts about this and my rating, I think I'm going to give this one 3 out of 5 stars. I really did like the discussion surrounding family and kind of discussion around like making your family proud, but also like being your own person and your independence. So you have these two characters, like I said, Kate and Nate, and they briefly meet at this escape room job. Nate's been working there for several years, and Kate is just a seasonal employee. They come from very different families, and they both need money. Nate needs money because his family doesn't have a lot of money, and he wants to be there to help them like pay off the house, get his mom a new car, you know, go to college, start his business, those sorts of things. And Kate really wants to go into theater, but her dad doesn't want her to do that. He does not support that dream at all. So she needs the money so she can move off to New York and pursue her dream. And they enter this survivalist competition. It's like this zombie run, like you escape across this campground. and the person that wins like $50,000. So as a team, each of them will win $25,000. It wasn't until probably like halfway through that the competition started, and that kind of reminds me of a couple of other books that I read. The third book in the Moose Springs, Alaska series by Sarah Morgenthaler. The reason why I didn't rate that as high is because the main premise of the book didn't start until much later into the actual story. Same thing with this, and that when they were going like mountain climbing, and they didn't actually like get to the mountain until like more than halfway through. Same thing here. The escape room, I wish there was more of that. I wish that they would have just concentrated on them working together and like him driving her home and stuff like that, and built up their friendship that way. But we also get to learn more about like all of the side characters, like his friends and stuff like that, and I wasn't really interested in that so much. But yeah, it's a really cute story. The representation seems accurate. Definitely seek out Own Voices reviewers for that type of thing. But overall, 3 out of 5 stars. Read. Daniel is napping. We basically took half a day. We're like, okay, we're done with work for today. So he's already laying down. Charlie's already laying down. I'm gonna go lay down and start reading my book. It is very early in the morning. I only got a couple hours of sleep. I was just really excited to take Charlie to the beach today. That's why I'm up early. That's why I'm in my bathing suit top. Anyway, I wanted to give you a reading update. I had planned to really focus on reading this yesterday, and that didn't quite happen. So I read like, I think 3 chapters, and then I read before I went to bed. So I am on chapter 13 on page 145. So not quite halfway, but like almost halfway. So basically you have this Korean American family, a mom and a dad, and they have 2 daughters, and we're following their daughter Sunny. She goes to this really prestigious prep school, and the headmaster calls Sunny and her parents in to let them know that they have received complaints about her time on social media from other parents. And she is on YouTube and Instagram, so she's, you know, kind of like an influencer, and saying that parents complain or are worried how it will come off if she's posting during school hours. And she's an honor roll student, like she could be valedictorian of her class, but she is posting during the school day. Even though it's scheduled posts, it's not like she's actually at school not paying attention, like doing social media. She's just scheduling it to post during the school day. And people have complained, so she was like, okay, I'll stop, you know, posting during the school day, like during those hours. And everybody seems baffled by her doing social media, and I feel that that's a little strange, because that part of that, they're just like, her parents and the school is so kind of oblivious to social media in a way. Maybe because of their culture and heritage, they don't know much about it, because there is a lot of like, I don't know, like Korean family, I don't know what you call that, discussion, discourse, I think that's what you call it, discourse, which is really great. And I noticed that in the other book that I read as well. She's trying to build up her social media and her influence during the summer, when she obviously has more time to make fresh content, and she's doing this cooking show, and she's doing it live. And it's kind of a mess, but she's making it work, and it's the end of the live show. She thinks she shuts off her camera. She doesn't. She ends up like taking off her shirt because like she was cooking. and she's standing there like in her bra, and of course that makes her numbers sore, and then that gets back to the headmaster, and then the headmaster calls her parents and they agree that they need to send her to the social media detox camp. Sorry, Charlie's outside, of course. Headmaster suggests that they send her to a social media detox camp for the summer, and her parents agree so that she can go back to her school in the fall. So yeah, so she's shipped off to Iowa, and she's at the social media detox camp, and it definitely has summer vibes. It has kind of like a camp vibe to it. But yeah, so now we're just seeing her at the camp, as she obviously wants to be on social media, but she's learning how to be like off of social media. I'm here with an update. We went to the beach this morning, as you saw, and it was one of my all-time very favorite days of my life. Charlie immediately took to the beach so well. She swam around in the ocean so much, and I'm just so happy about it because the beach is such a special place to me. I love going to the beach and living at the beach, not knowing like how she would take to it, because some dogs just don't like the water. They don't like swimming. They don't like the sand. They don't like it. Charlie loved it. She swam so much, and she is so tired today. It is 5:51 p.m. now, and she is just pooped. We all came home, had a little bite to eat, and crashed hard for several hours. I did manage to read a little bit of my book, which I'm going to give you an update on. I made it to chapter 17, page 195. And I should be able to finish this today if I can actually get off my butt and off of my computer and actually read this. So I wanted to tell you guys about this CBD oil that I got. It's from a company called USA Medical, and it is 100% organic hemp. It does not have THC in it. This will not make you high, but it's grown, the hemp is grown in Colorado, and they have a third party testing the quality of their oils and stuff like that, and all of that is very transparent on the website. So in the description box of all of my videos from now on, I'm gonna have this CBD oil linked. So you actually, if you click my link and you use my code, you could save money, but you have to do both. So both are in the description box for you. But I have been taking this for a couple of weeks now. I'm about here, so it lasts like a really good amount of time. They have like 100 milligrams, I think, 300, 500, 1,000, and I just went ahead and got the 3,000 milligrams, and I've been taking it and I really like it. I have tried other CBD oils, but of course I didn't see the testing for that. I actually saw the testing with signatures and dates and addresses and phone numbers, and you know, so it just made me feel really good about trying this product out, and I really like it. The packaging is just this little box and this little glass bottle, and it comes with a little glass dropper, and I take about that much under the tongue, and it tastes like grapeseed oil and orange oil. Grapeseed oil, hemp seed oil, and orange oil. So it does have that. It's pretty heavily like grapeseed, but then you also get that orange aftertaste, and I just really like this. There's a whole bunch of claims about what CBD oil can do. I personally take it to just feel more relaxed, and it does help me personally with my anxiety. But like if I'm feeling anxious or overwhelmed, I just take this and I find myself not as anxious like a little bit later. Haven't tried CBD oil and you would like to try CBD oil, I highly recommend this company, because like I said, the transparency is what made me want to try this particular oil. I have tried other oils and stuff, and they don't taste as good as this one. So this one not only tastes really good, but I love the third-party testing transparency right on their website. Any oil that you get or any product that you get, they have the testing there for you to read and available. And I actually told them that. I wrote a review and said that, and they were like, yeah, that's one of the things that we really like. We're hoping that if we do that, that other companies will kind of follow suit. And I was like, you're setting the example. I like that. So like I said, I will have a link in the description box, my code in the description box to save you a little bit of money. But if you have ever wanted to try a CBD oil, definitely try one from this company. Highly recommend. All right, so we have my new sleep shirt, which how freaking cute is this? And it is the Angsty Readers Club shirt. It looks like that on the front. Oh, is this a shirt or is this a night shirt? And that is what the back looks like. I finished reading Sunny Song Will Never Be Famous, so let's go ahead and wrap up my thoughts on this, and then we will wrap up my feelings overall. So Sunny Song Will Never Be Famous really does focus on social media and the pros and cons of social media, and just if you become obsessive with social media and what that can do to you, and that you need to take time off of social media and all of that. My main takeaway from this is how unbelievable it was that she was obsessed with social media. I personally didn't see her as being obsessed. She just had a pretty good following, and she was posting during school hours, which gave the wrong impression to her school. And then there was an accident that happened on one of her live shows, and having her school tell her parents to send her to a social media detox camp was just crazy to me. I don't know where that would ever happen in a million years. Also, I just think her family had some issues to deal with, and I don't think that they dealt with them in the best way. But over the course of the story, it looks like they realized some of their mistakes. I did tab one thing in here. I guess this is what bothers me about social media in general, is the older generations, older than me, I guess like maybe 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe they don't understand. A lot of people, like that generation, if you tell them that like you're a YouTuber or a book talker or you're on Instagram or something like that, and that's your job, I mean, it's not my job. I'm not making any money from this, but I can see that they will think of it as video creators are a bunch of dropouts. It's not even a professional setup usually. It's just people making videos from their bedroom or living room. What kind of talent is that? Making videos on a webcam or on a phone. What kind of career do you have after 5 years or 10? YouTubers are all young like you, but it's the most ageist place to be, and for me, that says something. I used to work in news broadcasting before I had children. So they kind of go into what they think about it, and let me just tell you, being a YouTuber is not filming a video in your bedroom no matter what you're doing. Yes, you can do that, but let me just tell you, it is a lot of work, especially if you have another job, especially if you have a significant other, if you have children, if you're taking care of family, if you have animals. If this is your sole job, good for you. But if it's not, and you're working a full-time job and doing all of this other stuff, like, it is not easy. There is the balance of work and play. There is the balance of video editing and responding to comments and taking a thumbnail and editing. And there's just so much more that goes into it than just, hey guys, I'm in my bedroom. So that was really frustrating. And I didn't know if this was gonna have like a moral. That's what I was looking for. And I guess at the very end, let's see, it did have a nice little wrap up about, now that all this is transpired, like what her takeaway from it was, and I appreciated that. For a quick update on Sunny Song Will Never Be Famous, after writing my review, I'm rating the story 2 out of 5 stars. Now that I I have read 2 Suzanne Park novels, what do I think overall? Sometimes I believe that YA can cross over. It doesn't matter what age you are, it can appeal to you. I do not think that is the case with Suzanne Park books. I think these are very well placed in their lane for YA, and I think that if you are the ages from 12 to 18, you will really, really enjoy these. However, as an adult, a much older adult, I already know these storylines. I've read these stories 100 times, and I've kind of aged out of this time in my life. Does that make sense? So I don't think I will be picking up any other Suzanne Park, but it's not because I think these are horrible stories. These are really cute, fluffy. I like the cultural dynamics. I like the representation. I like that this one had like escape rooms and survivalist camps, and this was like down on a farm, a detox camp. So I really do like that the settings are different, the storylines are different, the romance is different, but I just don't think these are for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. So if you love YA, you like rom-coms, and you're looking for some diverse, like contemporary stories, I highly recommend these. But as someone that doesn't read a lot of contemporary YA, rom-com, contemporary, and I really don't read much YA anymore, not necessarily for me. But 3 stars for both of these, and yeah, I think that wraps up my thoughts. So if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comment section down below. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you guys again soon.